Hey guys, how are you? Today is another episode of our podcast, and we are so excited to sit here at Core Life in Granville. This is actually like my spot that I come almost every day.
I literally was laughing at him because he walked up to the counter and said, "You want your regular?" And I was like, "Oh, you come here that often."
Yeah, it's I don't know if I'm proud of that or not, but yeah. So we're here. It's an awesome day. We're trying to enjoy the weather as long as we can because this is Michigan, and we don't know how long we'll have of this. So yeah, today we want to talk about lead generation. We wanted to kind of go over how you do that. You're really successful at that. That's something I'm really working on, but just our thoughts on that.
Yeah.
So that way, anybody that is in the sales world, anybody that's in the real estate world can hopefully gain something from this and learn and grow as if you're sitting here at lunch with us today. So with that, why don't we pray real quick for our meal? I'm using my napkin, but let me pray for our meal. Actually, Ryan, do you mind if you pray?
Yeah, I'll do that. So God, I just believe in your power and your presence and your omnipotence and just who you are in what you can do, in your provision, and how you've blessed my life. And God, I'm asking for opportunities for Dirk. I'm asking opportunities for me to meet more people that you would like our paths to cross. And may you use this podcast as a medium to reach people. If you have people that are struggling now, if you have people that are at a roadblock now or looking to break through a glass ceiling now, let them know that they can connect with us. And God, may we be your light in this industry and just be able to provide different outcomes for people. And may that be a testimony of your power through your message, through us, God. And that's my prayer. And thank you for the provision of this meal. Thank you for another day. Thank you for this beautiful weather. Amen.
Amen. Yeah, thank you. So I guess kind of to kick things off, what are your thoughts on lead generation? Like I said, I feel like you've had success in doing that. You've had a lot of trial and error, just as I have.
Yeah.
What have you found that has worked well for you? What have you found that hasn't worked for you?
Well, I have to put everything in perspective of where am I right now in my business? Where are people right now in their business? So I told you the other day, I'm going to circle back to something I said to you the other day is Michael Jordan has a coach. Mm-hmm. There's no reason Ryan Prichard shouldn't have a coach. Right. Yeah. So I've been on a search for a good real estate coach. And I believe I found that in Jeff Glover's team in Live Unreal. Mm-hmm. And we're going through, I didn't know I was doing this, but we had been doing this. So it depends. So before you even start looking at lead generation, you have to have your motive on why you're in business, and then you can set goals around your business. I think people get into real estate, people get into mortgages because one, they like helping people. That's probably the best motive you can have is to be in the business to help people. But then there's also the shiny objects. There's the money, there's the glitz, there's the glam, there's the celebrities of this business too. If we put all of that aside, I think the people that succeed the most in this industry are the people that are here to serve people. I think that those are the most successful people. For one, I think it resonates with other people more. So I would say first, see where you're at. What is your motive? Why are you doing business? It doesn't even have to be real estate, just like why are you doing any business, right? Mm-hmm. So when I first got into real estate, that first year, I can't remember now, it was either 3 or 6 transactions I did that first half a year. If I bring myself all the way back to that day, those first 3 real estate transactions was enough for a stimulus into my household income of that was like a 30 to 40% income raise. No employer was going to give me a 30 to 40% income raise by just doing additional work, right? No, they'd be like, no, thank you for doing additional work. At your annual review, I'll give you a 3 to 6% raise.
Yep.
At your annual review, right? No, but I'm doing it now, right? So I have to put myself in the perspective of what's your now business. And you're going to love this because I'm going to be talking for a little bit and you'll have plenty of time to eat. And then I'll turn it back on to you as a loan officer, how you build some business. So I think about the foundation of why you're in business. Then you have to build a business plan And then you're going to be doing that annually, right? Yeah, I'm going to project for 10% growth, 20%, 30, 40% growth. But there will come a point where you're like, and this is what Jeff says is, what's the best version of me? Like, okay, I've been doing this for 7 years now, right? What's the best version of me? Like, we practice that at LMCU too. Like, we went through leadership training. You're improving your leadership skills, your personal skills, and defining who you are, like, right? And like, okay, the more I understand myself, the more other people will understand me, because I'll be able to communicate better with them. So working on that self at the same time you're working on your business. Now, that might not make sense to you today if you're listening. Ryan, I need to make $10,000 over the next 6 months. Otherwise, I can't pay my bills. That's a different motive than, Ryan, I want to make $300,000 this year. How are you doing that, right? Okay, your business is bringing in $500,000, $600,000 of revenue, Ryan. How do I get to doing that, right? Those are very different goal alignments and how you structure your lead generation. So for me today, about 15% of my leads are paid online leads. 15%. About 65% of my business comes from friends, family, referral. And then the rest is very active. It's this. It's my relationship building. It's setting a weekly appointment with people and prospecting together. It's calling people that I thought had interests, past leads that had come through the database, and prospecting that way. But at this point in my business, I need to track the source of every single one of my leads on how that closed. And then I see, where am I doing my best? Where am I doing my lowest? And find the return on the investment for the amount of money or time spent on getting those leads, right? You might not have money to go buy leads today, but you have a full working day to call, door knock, open house, right? So we have to, once you know what income you want to make in this business, when you meet with me, like if you're a brand new agent recruit, every single agent recruit that meets with me, we set out a business plan, like a business plan, because you're a 1090 contractor with a real estate company, and you're a business owner, right? You're not working for an employer. I might be your employee broker. Man, I am on my pedestal right now. Like, what am I doing? But so that being said, you have to switch from this employee mindset to a business mindset, E to P, right? And going from, okay, I'm actually now responsible for all of this. How do I set this up? That's what I'm here for. Like, if you don't know how to get to that section, may this be your opportunity to say, Ryan, I want to have a business plan. I want to know what my next 12 months looks like. I want to know what my 2024 looks like. I want predictable income for next year. Okay, your predictable income next year looks like 26 open houses. It looks like you're going to be calling your friends and family 1 hour a week. 1 hour a week. I didn't say 1 hour a day, right? So we can do a lot of different things. We can send out a postcard. You can hold past client events. We customize that towards that person. It's not going to be, hey, you're cold calling for sale by owners and expireds for the next 3 months to get one lead. If you want to, you can do that. And people don't take that as that's the success principle, is only one lead. But
what are your thoughts in terms of, I think you kind of alluded to this, but if you have multiple agents on your team, if you're talking to somebody, say I'm a new realtor and I'm coming to you saying, hey, you've had some success. What do? Is it a one size fits all, X, Y, and Z? Is it more tailored to every single individual person? What are things that every person that sits across the table from you that's new can do that you would recommend that will help them grow their business?
All right. Secret sauce here. If you have a database of 100 people that know, like, trust you, whether or not they're past clients from another business, family, friends, whatever, even if you're a new transplant in this area, can you get 100 people into a database that can know, like, and trust you pretty quickly? You should be able to prospect that quickly. You're going to focus on a database of 100 people. You should be able to get at least 10 closings from a database of 100 people, a 10% conversion of people that know, like, and trust you. Because on average, every single person that you encounter will encounter someone in that year up to 8 to 12 times that will buy or sell a property. What we want to accomplish is being top of mind in that person's mind to refer you and have a way to refer you when that opportunity comes up. Hey, Dirk, maybe not right now. I know you just bought a house, but if someone told you that they were going to buy or sell a house, would you be willing to refer me? Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. Can I give you some of my business cards in case that opportunity ever comes up? Like, I just have really enjoyed working with you in my banking days. I know you might not have an immediate need to help me right now, but I know at least 8 to 12 people are going to cross your path over the next 12 months that are going to buy and sell a house. I would just like the opportunity to be top of mind.
Yeah.
That's not a hard ask, right? These people already know you.
Yes.
They would love to do that. But if you're such a secret agent that no one knows you're in business, that's your problem. That's your problem. It's not their problem. Ryan, I didn't know you were in business.
Right.
So 100 people database. Let's predictably get you 10 closings from that database. And that's just you actively letting people know you're in the business. And you can still do the other sources. Like if I want to do that same database, I'm going to mail 100 postcards. I'm in business. Followed up with a call. Hold those open houses. Be a part of a real estate team. It's not one size fit all because some people still have that employee mindset. Like, I really don't want to run my own business. I don't want to be responsible for my annual dues, my prospecting costs, the phones, my insurance, just all of the expenses a business owner has.
Yeah.
It might make sense for you to go on a team where you're making 50-50, 60-40, 70-30 of that commission split.
Yeah.
So no, it's not one size fit all, but my one size fit all secret nugget is that 100 database.
Yeah. What are your thoughts in regards to, a lot of people I talk to that get into real estate, they want to dip their toes in the water, right? Which makes sense. I mean, I think in anything in life, there's wisdom in that. But what are your thoughts on somebody that they've dipped their toes in the water a little bit and they are just not able to get over that hump? And they're thinking about going all in and going full time and quitting their other job that they have. What are your thoughts? What's your advice to somebody like that? Is it worth doing that? I know you started out, you did real estate as a part-time job as well because you were actively employed by a local credit union. So what are your thoughts on that? What's your advice on somebody that's in that position?
Looking back on what was successful for me then and now is one, I never thought I would fail. There's this line. So I watch a lot of kids cartoons now, right? With Garrett and Ariana. There's in Cars 3 when Lightning McQueen is talking to Cruz Ramirez, and Cruz gets kicked out of Mack truck because Lightning McQueen broke her trophy at the Derby. And she gets so mad at him that she yells at him and says, how could you do this? How could you become a race car? Well, I just never thought I couldn't, is what Lightning McQueen says back to Cruz Ramirez. I never thought I wouldn't be successful in this. I never gave it a second thought. My dad tells me, Ryan, and he would say this to anyone, but specifically to me, he says, Ryan, once you put your mind to something, you do it.
Yeah.
So I try to give that same mindset, energy, passion, determination. I'm more of a determined person than a disciplined person. People think I'm very disciplined. I'm determined is what I am. I'm ambitious is what I am.
Yeah.
So I never had a second. Take that mindset. I'm doing this. If you felt like Gary Vee says it, not everyone knows Gary Vee.
Yeah.
Craig Rochelle was saying it the other day. One of the most successful principles in this is failure in trying, but consistency, showing up, don't quit. I don't care if you didn't get a real estate transaction within your first 12 months. You need to find someone new to help you. It's not a matter of can you do it. It's maybe you didn't know how. No one's shown you how. Your skill set needs to find someone that can show you how.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Do you have a business plan? Do you have someone that's mentoring you? I was so doggone determined
Yeah.
that I didn't have a business plan. I had sheer gumption that I was going to be successful. So I switched my mindset to saying, yes, I'm a branch manager of this credit union to all my friends and family. My friends and family already knew that about me. But when they were asking me, hey, Ryan, what's new? Oh, I'm a real estate agent. Oh, okay. I thought you were no, I'm still there.
Yep.
But I'm doing real estate sales. I told everyone I was a real estate agent from that point on, even when I went into, more of the cultural side of things. Because that was my moneymaker for myself. And that didn't mean that I couldn't still do great things for the credit union, because I find myself to be able to work 3, 4, 5 full-time jobs. That's my capacity.
Yep.
That's not everyone else's capacity.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, I can do that.
Yeah. It's I've told you already that it's inspiring, to watch you. I don't say it to puff you up, but I do feel like you're very determined, and you've always been somebody that has that mindset. I think we talked in other episodes before of going through mental health struggles and going through different things that are discouraging. And I think a lot of times that can deflate even the most determined people.
Can.
I think I've gone through that to an extent at times. And different than you, I didn't choose to get into mortgage lending the same. It was kind of just God opened the door for me. And so it wasn't always a passion of mine. When I was a kid growing up, I wasn't like, I want to be a mortgage lender. No, that was it, but God opened that door for me and I stepped into it. Am I a salesy person? No, I don't enjoy cold calling. I don't enjoy that stuff. What I've learned, like you said, and the most important thing is that you care.
Yep.
And I have always felt that if you genuinely care for people, God will bless you out of that, because your actions follow that. If you genuinely look out for people, they will refer you. They will tell people about you. And that's something for me that I found to be just kind of a cool testimony of I'm not salesy at all. There's so many scriptures of Moses led a whole nation.
Yeah.
And he hated public speaking.
Yeah.
He was so scared of it that his brother Aaron had to help him. He was that terrified, and yet God used him. And so for me, it's been a testimony of I'm not wired like you necessarily in that way, but God has put me in a position where I'm I have to step up. And in some ways, every day can be a challenge in getting leads, because I don't like rejection. So I don't like putting myself out there. But I remember a game that we played actually at LMCU years ago.
Okay.
And our manager had us as a teller. She had us play, how many no's can you get?
Oh.
So I'm like, this sounds miserable, right? But the goal was, how many referrals can you get? And you're going to get no on most of them. But one thing I am is competitive. And so when I played that game, I knew that there were a couple other competitors on the teller line that were going to go for it just like I was. And I did not want to lose. And so you get more conditioned to that. And you start to realize something that I have to remind myself still today is a no is not a rejection of me as a person. A lot of times people just don't, want to be sold to.
Yep.
But the thing is that I do have something and you have something to offer that is valuable. And that is somebody that cares, somebody that's going to look after them, hopefully better than most people. And if you're watching this today and you genuinely care, that's why you're in this industry, you have that to offer somebody. Oh, yeah. You have the purpose behind you to say, no, I might not have the most experience, but I'm going to care. I might not have all the answers, but I've surrounded myself with people that do have the answers.
Exactly.
And it's okay. It's okay when you're starting out. And I've said it, I still say it today a lot of times. Somebody will ask a question and I'm like, I don't know. But I have a way to know. Let me call you back. Give me an hour, give me a couple hours. I'm going to research this and I'm going to get back to you. Nobody cares. Nobody that I've experienced has ever said, you don't know, you're in this industry for how long and you don't know the answer to every
resourcefulness.
Yep.
People love resourcefulness.
Yes. And the funny thing is, especially starting out at LMCU is I've still seen it in the mortgage industry too. When you work around people, our pride sometimes takes over where we don't want to own up to not knowing an answer. We might know 20% of the answer, and so we kind of make up the rest. And I think people can see through that. You know, when I was at LMCU, everything was open. I was sat at a branch where everything was open. And when I would hear other tellers, and I'd be like, that's not really right, you know? But they were telling people. And I know that came from a good place of like, they didn't want to feel like they were failing. But guess what? Nobody is going to judge you if you don't know the answers. So like Ryan said, step into whatever you're called to. Step into the person that you are called to be. And for me, I say this to myself, don't be afraid to reach out to people. I had to have a huge shift when I was going through my mental health issues and I was really struggling months ago. I was so scared of rejection, and my boss will tell you, like, I bucked. He wanted me to make calls. I'm like, that's not me. I had to find something that was more me and a little more warm than cold calls to be top of mind to people. But I had to still do it, and I had to stop telling myself that a rejection or a no was rejection of me, because I had to look at things from a different perspective and say, no, it's an opportunity to love on somebody. It's an opportunity to care for somebody. It's an opportunity to, you know, I've had it where I reached out to somebody and they're like, hey, I'm struggling with this too. And I'm like, hey, let me pray for you. You know, like, it's such a great opportunity that if I don't reach out, I don't get those opportunities. Instead of looking at it as, this person doesn't want me to bother them, like they know I'm selling them something. No, look at it as a way of like, hey, I genuinely want to build a relationship with you, and how can I help you? And if they say no, they say no. But like, hey, I have an opportunity to reach out to 10 people this week. And if I can genuinely connect with all 10 people, that is so fun, you know, to build connections, to build, you know, like whether we're talking about God, whether we're talking about the Detroit Lions, I don't care. Like, that's fun to talk about. Whether we're talking about your families, whether we're just talking about things that we're dealing with in our lives, like that to me is my why. And like, I love doing that. But a lot of times my hurdle that I struggle to get over is, well, what if they don't like me? What if they don't want to talk to me? You know? So yeah, go ahead.
Well, even so on that, people don't know to like you as a mortgage loan officer until they've worked with you as a mortgage loan officer, right? So how are they going to work with you as a mortgage loan officer? Unless you ask them to, right? So, but I also want to circle back to what you were saying is your career path kind of chose you, right? So for someone that's entering the mortgage industry, what would you recommend? Working for a broker for the knowledge that they have, or working for like a credit union or a bank for the lead generation that they have?
Good question. My answer is it doesn't matter. That's not what my boss would say if he's watching this. I've worked for both, and I can tell you, I know what the broker channel is going to say. They're going to say we specialize in mortgages, but the truth is that if you're at a bank or a credit union, so do they. You're specializing in mortgages, and then there's a whole team of people. It's not like you're jumping from the teller line to mortgages. Like, nope, there's a whole team of people specializing. There's not going to be a difference. The difference is you need to find a team, and you need to find leadership that you feel is the real deal, that you can trust, that's going to go to bat for you, that's going to help you, that's going to be there for you. And that can vary from brokerage to credit union to bank. It's just the people, right? Some banks are really not, they're going to say that they're people over profit, but they're not. They're profit over people. And it shows. I mean, there was actually, there was, I don't like bashing other people, but I see things from lenders all the time and banks, and I see that.
We see it too.
I just see a lot of schemes out there and ways to sell something that's really twisting the truth and making it seem like you're saving money when you're not saving any money. They're just essentially taking the same meal right here, and they're just putting a different wrapping paper on it and a bow on it, but it's the same bowl. And they're just twisting things to make people convinced that this is the best deal. And I don't always feel that's right. And so that's where it's like, don't work for those people. Even if you're going to take less money, find leadership, find a team of people that are going to support you and that are going to care about you and are going to help you grow. And so, I mean, the question when I chose to go to Churchill, the question that my boss asked me was, is the Dirk at Churchill, surrounded by the people that you know at Churchill, in 5 years better than the Dirk at a different company?
Oh, I like that question.
That for me was the question internally of, who do I want to be? Do I want to? Is the Dirk in 5 years?
What good leadership!
Oh, it was so good because I had options at other companies to make a lot more money, and so I had to ask myself: do I want to in 5 years have a bigger bank account, which is great, or do I want people to respect me as, wow, he's really good at his job, and do I want to be a better person? Because he also said that he thinks that the two greatest things that influence who you are as a person is, number one, the people you surround yourself with. Number two, the books that you read, including the Bible, hopefully, if you're reading that. So what are you feeling inside? And even books, not beyond books that you read, things that you're listening to, things you're feeling yourself, podcasts you're listening to, what are you feeling yourself with? And that to me, I was like, oh, that's so true. I want to be surrounded by people that are like-minded, that are going to hold me accountable, that are going to influence me for the better. And I heard it on a different podcast the other day that you are an average of the 5 closest people in your circle. So who are those people? Who do you surround yourself with? So that's my advice is, doesn't matter, brokerage, credit union, bank, find the people that are your people.
I have 2 kids, Dirk, and I need to support my family. How do I get leads as a mortgage loan officer? That's great. I love the people I work with, but I need money. Yeah,
good question. Part of my decision to go to Churchill was I knew that I was going to a place that was going to hold me accountable, coach me in that as well, and help me become better. The thing that I've really learned, and I'm still working at this, is consistency and top of mind. I feel like top of mind is the greatest. Obviously, as a mortgage lender, my job is to connect to realtors like yourself that want to partner with me. It's important for me to find a good fit, to find people that I want to work with, and that are loyal back to me, that will in turn help me out, because I want to help them out in every way possible too. So the thing I found is to really sow into that relationship. With any relationship, time helps, and spending time with those people. We said that calling them, times, haven't we? texting them, because I genuinely do care for the people that God has allowed me to partner with. And I sometimes, again, I think, oh, am I being a bother? Like, no, what does it hurt to just say, how are you doing today? Exactly. I even put it in my calendar every now and then just to ask people, hey, do you need prayer? Not even, because I don't even care, like, whether you use me or not. If you're somebody that I've connected with, even through this business, like, if I can be a blessing to you, that still fills me up. And I found a lot of times in this industry, I don't have to force it, right? No, if somebody doesn't want to work with me, they don't want to work with me. But if somebody does, I think they've realized that I'm genuine and I'm real. And so because of that, my thing that I've learned is just be top of mind. Continue reaching out to people, continue texting people, just like any relationship. If I didn't text my fiance, Becca, if I just text her like once every couple weeks, our relationship wouldn't be that strong. No.
Would you be in a relationship?
Exactly. No, I don't plan to be that tight with my referral partners, but my thing is,
he does get an Instagram reel from every night.
Yep. So I do like to just stay connected, be real, and continue watering that relationship. That's my advice. And then, like you said, we all have a sphere. One thing that I've learned is use that sphere. Yes. If you're in a church, let people know, and you don't have to be salesy about it, but let them know. Talk to people, stay after. If you're I used to play, soccer. I was on 3 different teams. Let those people know. If you're in a small group, for whatever reason, let those people know. Hey, I do mortgages. If you know of anybody, I'd love to help them out. I have great realtors that I can set you up with too. Like, let them know. Influence your sphere. Be somebody that is not too stuck in just going home every night and not talking to anybody. Be somebody that wants to influence people and be around people, because people will pour into you and you can pour into people, and you can also let them know, hey, can you help me out when somebody mentions something? So top of mind to the people that you want to get referrals from, but also try to influence your sphere, try to expand that sphere, and tell them what you do.
So one of my final questions as we wrap up here for you.
Yeah.
I think we both like our meals. I don't know how well you liked your Brussels sprouts, but
I gotta get to these yet. These are really good.
as a loan officer, how do you break into a realtor's sphere? How do you actually get a realtor to send you? Because realtors probably encompass 70 to 90% of your lead generation. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how do you, because, the loan officers that are going to be watching this, right? They're going to be like, well, how did you get Ryan to do work with you? How did you get A, B, C, D, other? Because you probably have a database of 10 solid referral partners or more, likely more,
Yeah.
agents that send you something on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
How do I tap into that? Not me, but
Yeah.
a loan officer.
Yeah, good question. I would say I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't think it's a one-size shoe fits all. Different realtors are going to connect to different people, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, again, just be genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Try to reach out. Try to connect. And like I said, just be consistent. Be top of mind. I think being real with people goes a long way. I honestly have found that my meetings that have the most success are when I'm vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
and when I'm honest. Most realtors are smart enough not to believe the schemes that are out there.
Yeah.
A lot still are, but and they're like, this guy's got this, and I'm like, But most people
I
just
even fall into that sometimes.
Yeah.
Bro, I need this rate.
Yeah. Yep. But most people understand what they just want is genuine and authentic. And so my advice is, when you meet with people, just be real. I'm actually met with a lender that I look up to recently, and I kind of went into it like, this is just going to be talking business. And he actually just opened up about some life issues that he has and how he's used that to hopefully influence other, but real struggles that he's had.
Wow.
And I was like, it immediately took down my walls and allowed me to open up to him.
Nice.
Too. And it made me feel from surface to like a brother.
Yep.
And so my advice is be real with people, let down your walls and just be honest and be authentic, because we're all humans. We all have struggles.
Yeah.
And that's one of the greatest, you might not relate on other things, but we can all relate as human beings that we all have struggles and that we all fall short. And when you open up about those things, it'll help somebody else feel more vulnerable with you too. So
I agree. So, well, as we wrap up this meeting again, this is something that we do not only because we enjoy it and we have to eat and have nourishment, but it's an opportunity for us to do knowledge share, actually just give out some of our things that we've learned over X years of doing this. And we want to bring that forward. We want to continue to bring that forward. And we want to stay in business too, right? So Dirk has a very strong business. I have a very strong business, and we're growing still. So if you know anyone that has been like, hey, I've been thinking about selling, I've been thinking about building, I thought about doing a refinance, I'm going through this hardship. We're more than just realtors and loan officers. We are actually like service providers that can help navigate very difficult waters, because we have trusted resources that can help you too. So if you don't know who to refer someone to through a hard situation, death, divorce, anything, marriage, right? Those are life-changing circumstances, and you're moving into some new waters.
Yeah.
We would love to be your top-of-mind person, realtor, loan officer, that can help navigate those waters. So again, pass us out. Try us out if you haven't.
Yeah.
And we want to continue bringing this content. So if there's anything you would like us to talk about too, feel free to put that in the comments section or shoot us a message, and we'll dive deeper into that too. Yeah. And if you'd like to be on this podcast, we're going to start opening it up. Yeah. So you're welcome to join us here too. We would love to share more knowledge about West Michigan, Michigan in general, and just what it takes to be a homeowner.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.